Hello folks, welcome to Lexi IS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by your faculty Sushma KP. So what is the topic that we will be looking into today? Bangladesh elections, will Tarique Rahman tilt towards Pakistan and China? What exactly is happening and why are we discussing this news? See, post the oustal of former Prime Minister of Bangladesh Sheikh Hasina in August 2024, led by a massive student protest, led to the formation of an interim government headed by Muhammad Yunus. Now, one of the main objectives of Muhammad Yunus was to conduct elections for Bangladesh. Now that particular aspect has come into reality on your February 12, 2026 with the victory and majority going to your BNP, which is headed by Tarique Rahman, who is soon set to become the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. He is the son of your Khaleda Zia. Sheikh Hasina government fell, interim government came in, now the new government is about to come in. This particular government has won with a majority out of 300 seats, where you needed 151 seats to win. Your BNP has secured 213 wins. It has secured 213 seats. Jamaat-e-Islami along with its coalition has won around 70 seats. The remaining has won just 10 seats. Now when asked about stepping down from power to your Muhammad Yunus, who is the interim chief, has held that he will step down with deep pleasure and pride, which will lead way to the coming of the new term under the Prime Minister of BNP. Now the question that remains is, now with the BNP coming into power and with no coalition with Jamaat-e-Islami, does it mean they are going to tilt towards your Pakistan or China, and what does it mean for India? This is what we will be discussing in the course of the video. Now if you're someone who enjoys local news, national news, international news, then subscribe to Legacy IAS Academy channel. Why? Because we provide deep insights into these topics. Coming back into the topic. If you see the historical foreign policy orientation of BNP, it was founded by Ziaur Rahman in 1978. This was further carried forward by Ziaur Rahman's widow Khaleda Zia, who recently passed away, and her son is now going to become the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. First and foremost, what is the objective of BNP? Means it highlighted on Bangladeshi nationalism, and one more important attribute is it is like a counterweight, or the, let's say, if Awami League is there, opposite to that ideology is your BNP. Understanding? This is how they both were. Now with the election of the new person who's going to become the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, one of the first leaders to comment on the victory of this is Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now first and foremost we have to understand is how was the ties between Pakistan and BNP formally. See, with respect to Awami League was towards the stance of pro-India, and it kept Pakistan at an arm's length. Now I told you if Awami League is one ideology, opposite to that is your BNP. Your BNP had relatively warmer ties with your Pakistan. And also one more thing if you see is with their association and coalition with Jamaat-e-Islami, especially post 1971, they were accused of being pro-Pakistan or takes a softer stance on Pakistan. Understanding? So with respect to China, how is your BNP's relationship with China? Means, in fact, during your BNP's term during 2001 to 2006 period of time is where they strengthened your Bangladesh-China relations. Your Bangladesh-China relations is one of the important ones because their economy is largely dependent on your China. And also the strategic diversification goes beyond your India perspective. Now let's say, what are the possible issues or concerns that India might be thinking if Pakistan comes very closer towards your Bangladesh? See, Pakistan has the objective of trying to utilize the, let's say, with respect to the porous borders that we have with Myanmar. Your Bangladesh want to infiltrate these eastern borders and exploit the Rohingya crisis that is there with respect to your Myanmar. And also, India fears of your Islamist space expansion. Look at this. Now, let's see what are the economic relations between your Pakistan and Bangladesh. See, with respect to Pakistan and Bangladesh trade relations, if we have to say a simple sentence, it is trade imbalance or huge trade deficit, which means there is surplus in Pakistan side and deficit in Bangladesh side. What do we mean by this? The bilateral trade is about $865 million in your 2024-25. It has significantly increased compared to the previous year. And the exports of Pakistan dominate with respect to your Bangladesh. Pakistan exports textiles, cement, sugar, Bangladesh with respect to jute, garments, pharma, these kind of things. Now compared to what ties it has, let's say with respect to the trade embargo itself, Bangladesh has a larger trade with other South Asian regional players than with your Pakistan. What are these other regional players? Such as your China, India, West Asia, understanding? So if you see how is Bangladesh and China relations, especially under BNP, the formal relations were set strongly during your BNP. This started post your China's recognition of Bangladesh in 1975, and also the bilateral trade between both these countries is highest. When I say both these countries, it is China is having the highest trade with Bangladesh. Almost Bangladesh imports 95% of its exports from your China. What does it do? Machinery, electronics, industrial raw materials. So basically everything that sustains your Bangladesh garment exports. Alongside that, your China has always been more about your investment first, development first. So it has invested heavily in Bangladesh also, with respect to your ports, bridges, power plants, industrial plants, and also transport corridors, all of these coming under your Belt and Road Initiative. So China has invested heavily with respect to BRI frameworks. With respect to defense cooperation also, they have started doing arms supply, training exchanges, so much so that in the borders of India, Bangladesh, they have set up your drone manufacturing. So this has raised eyebrows in your New Delhi. And this also gives a concern for India, especially in your Bay of Bengal region. So if anything about your BNP we have to be speaking about for, let's say, from countries with respect to your Pakistan, India or China, if we see from your economic perspective, compared to Pakistan, China and India are key regional players. Now with respect to China, it has a very economic dependent policy. With Pakistan, it is more of a symbolic approach. Now, the question as to will BNP favor China? See, largely we can see it from economic perspective, because 95% of their exports and their entire garment sector is dependent on that, makes it an economic dependence. And also, there is still a need for huge infrastructure, capital, competitiveness, exports, and also industrial modernization. All these are further needed, which makes it a safe bet, or the smart way for BNP to lead this is through multi-alignment. Choosing alignment with everyone rather than choosing sides would be better thing for your Bangladesh right now. What is the China advantage? See, China के लिए BNP is now in a favorable position for it, because historically also it has had good relations. Now also the same thing will continue. Certain things may accelerate with respect to fast project delivery, fewer political conditions, and development first diplomacy of China favors your BNP attitude. But now if you see, with respect to your Tarique Rahman's campaign, largely he has spoken about not Delhi, not Pindi, Bangladesh first, which means he is telling rather than taking sides with New Delhi or Rawalpindi, that is the military headquarters of Pakistan's, he is trying to give importance more to the nationalism rather than taking sides. And also this means there is no, he has also held that he will not be giving any privileged status to any of his partners, which means there will be a multi-vector foreign policy, multi-alignment will be there, and also national interest driven, that is Bangladesh first policy is being looked into. Understanding? So this is neither a loss for India nor can we justify it as a strong win for Pakistan. Now if you see how this balancing act might work out. First and foremost, with India, why is it needed? Again, our shared boundary, geography, trade routes, energy cooperation that we have, and especially our close alliance with our Bay of Bengal, BIMSTEC initiatives. With China, China largely is more economy dependent, infrastructure, financing, manufacture, supply chains, raw materials, yes, defense hardwares. With Pakistan, they have limited strategic space with respect to trade. Only the Pakistan is having a good trade surplus. It's more of symbolic diplomacy rather than a set forth concrete structural alignment. So if at all we can expect anything based on the election campaigning, based on the not Delhi, not Pindi, Bangladesh first, in these things we can expect to have a more of a balancing approach that they would take. Experts have also suggested that this is the approach that they would take because of the fact that the victory is higher and also they do not have to worry about coalition with your Jamaat-e-Islami. Understanding your Islamist factions. Now with this, what are the concerns and opportunities that India might have? The concerns would be Islamist political space, because we cannot tell that yes, because your Jamaat-e-Islami and BNP are not coming together doesn't mean they are completely free of this. Understanding that is not a possibility also. And another thing is this might lead to your Pakistani intelligence outreach, especially during your 2001-2006 period. It was even held that they conducted mutual joint your intelligence organization operations. And also growing Chinese defense footprints threatens a lot of your Bay of Bengal maritime security. Like I told, the drone manufacturing which is set up just near the borders of India, Bangladesh raises concerns. And also the interim government has been very much making statements such as that, let's put it in this way, if Bangladesh and China are in a closer relationship, it is fine. But you claiming that you are the king of the seas of Bay of Bengal, or you are the entry for northeastern part of India, all this raises unnecessary situations which will again raise eyebrows, and not just eyebrows, this also raises the diplomatic pressure on both sides. Especially under your interim government headed by your Muhammad Yunus, India-Bangladesh relationship had almost nosedived. Now with the coming of your new government, we have certain opportunities also. What are those? Economic interdependence still remains strong among us, and also connectivity projects are there, energy grid, and also cultural and people ties, alongside with the mentioning of there will not be any privilege given to any of the immediate neighbors. Okay, so these will give us to an extent that yes, this may choose, or the present incoming Prime Minister may choose balancing act over being overtly pro-China or pro-Pakistan. Understanding? With this we come to the end of the video. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share it along with your friends. Thank you.